Imagine you just got your first big promotion. Your paycheck finally looks the way you always dreamed it would. You feel like you finally made it. Naturally, you want to celebrate. You look at that luxury SUV in the driveway next door. You think about that designer watch you saw on Instagram. Most people think this is what success looks like. They think reaching the top 5% means finally buying everything you want, but that is a trap. I have spent years studying how the truly wealthy actually stay wealthy. The people at the top don't just make more money. They think about money differently. They stop buying things that the middle class is desperate to own. In fact, the moment they reach success, their spending habits flip. They stop trying to look rich. They start focusing on staying rich. My name is Kev, and I spend way too much time thinking about the habits of the top 5%. If you're someone who feels like the more you earn, the less you actually keep, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's what most people don't realize about the top 5%. They aren't buying status symbols anymore. The first thing they stop buying is new money luxury. Think about the loudest designer logos you can find. Huge belts with gold buckles, shirts covered in brand names. When you are climbing the ladder, you want people to know you're winning. But once you're actually at the top, you don't need to prove it. The top 5% pivot to quiet luxury. They buy quality, not labels. They stop paying a premium just to be a walking billboard. They realize that a $500 t-shirt with a logo doesn't make them more valuable, it just makes them a customer. This leads into the second thing they stop buying: depreciating toys on credit. The middle class loves to finance a boat or a jet ski. They see it as a reward for hard work, but the top 5% see a liability. They stop buying things that eat money while they sleep. If it has an engine and loses value every year, they approach it with caution. They might own a boat, but they rarely finance it to look successful. They stop buying into the monthly payment lifestyle. I thought this too for a long time. I thought success meant having the highest credit limit, but high interest debt is a chain. The wealthy stop buying things they can't afford to buy twice in cash. This brings us to a huge psychological shift. They stop buying the latest version of everything. Think about the smartphone in your pocket or the car in your garage. Most people upgrade the moment a new model drops. They do it because of social pressure. The top 5% stop chasing the upgrade cycle. They buy tools that work and they use them until they don't. They realize that the 10% improvement in a new phone isn't worth $1,200. That money is better spent on assets. This is where it gets really interesting. They stop buying retail investments. Now you might be thinking, don't they invest more? Yes, but they stop buying what everyone else is buying. They stop following hot tips from coworkers. They stop buying into the hype of the newest meme coin. They stop looking for the next big thing that promises 1,000% returns. Instead, they buy boring, proven systems. They buy time and they buy experts. They stop trying to do their own taxes when their situation gets complex. They stop buying the DIY mentality for everything. Early in your career, you trade time to save money. You mow your own lawn. You fix your own sink. You spend 5 hours researching a $50 discount. The top 5% stop doing that. They start buying their time back. They realize that their hourly rate is now higher than the cost of help. If an hour of their time is worth $500, they don't spend it doing $20 tasks. This isn't about being lazy. It is about math. It is about focus. They stop buying low-quality fuel as well. And I don't mean gasoline. I mean what they put in their bodies. Cheap fast food is a tax on your future energy. The top 5% stop buying highly processed convenience. They start buying high-quality nutrition and preventative health. They realize that their brain is their greatest asset. If the engine is dirty, the car won't run. They stop buying busyness as a badge of honor. We live in a culture that loves to be grinding. People buy into the idea that working 100 hours a week is success. The top 5% stop buying that lie. They stop buying into projects that require all of their physical presence. They start buying systems that work without them. They stop buying large homes they don't use. The McMansion is a classic middle-class trap. It has 4 guest rooms that stay empty 360 days a year. It has a massive lawn that costs a fortune to maintain. The top 5% stop buying square footage just for the sake of it. They stop buying into the idea that a bigger house equals a better life. They look at the carry cost of every purchase. This is the hidden price of success. Every big purchase comes with a shadow cost. taxes, insurance, maintenance, and stress. They stop buying things that increase their stress levels. They also stop buying mass market education. I'm talking about generic seminars and get-rich courses. They stop buying into the secret formula industry. By the time you reach the top 5%, you know there is no secret. There is only discipline and strategy. They stop buying flashy networking events. They stop paying for memberships to clubs just to say they belong. They focus on deep private relationships. They stop buying short-term trends in fashion and decor. They buy things that are timeless. They stop buying into the fast fashion cycle. They would rather buy one $300 pair of shoes that lasts 10 years than buy 10 pairs of $60 shoes that fall apart in 6 months. This is called the Vimes Boots theory of wealth. It's expensive to be poor because you have to keep replacing cheap things. The wealthy stop buying cheap and start buying value. Look, transitioning your mindset is harder than earning the money. If you want to move toward that top 5%, you have to change your shopping list. Start by looking at your last 3 big purchases. Did you buy them for you, or did you buy them for the people watching you? The first step is to stop buying things to impress people you don't even like. The second step is to audit your time. Look for one task you can outsource this week to win back an hour. Use that hour to learn a new skill or rest your mind. The third step is to simplify your wardrobe and your tech. Stop the upgrade cycle dead in its tracks. Keep your current phone for another year. Invest that saved money into a low-cost index fund. Success isn't about what you can show off. It's about what you can sustain. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the money not spent on a luxury car. It's the peace of mind of having no high-interest debt. It's the freedom to say no to a job you hate. Stop buying the image of success. Start building the reality of it. It takes time. It takes discipline. But the view from the top is much better when you actually own the mountain.